Hello, my name is Andrew Maher, and I'm an evangelist with Avaya Engagement Solutions. This is a brief talk that I just delivered recently in Hamburg about how Breeze really makes it easy. I wanted to share with you a few areas where Avaya Breeze is getting more and more activity and seeing more interest, and customers actually doing some real innovative things with it. You might recognize a number of the subjects on the field here today. Internet of Things and how you might interface to that here. Artificial intelligence, the role of virtual assistants, or even some sort of messaging automation are all interesting subjects, but what does that all have to do with Avaya Breeze? What I've got for you today, I think, are 5 examples of what some of our customers and business partners, interesting enough, are trying to do with their customers and show how they're using Breeze to enable things which some of them just weren't possible before. First is our partner here in Germany called Engelbart Software. They had a customer come to them that said, I have a particular problem that I need to improve the process here. I have 160 shops around the country here and over 12,000 suppliers, providing me hundreds of thousands of articles here. All of my employees are just equipped with very basic wireless phones, DECT telephones in all the warehouses as well as the showrooms here. When items show up on the ramp off the trucks here, or they end up being unpacked in the showrooms here, sometimes there might be errors here or damaged items here. The process today is that employee fills out a sheet of paper, hands it down the row, and towards later in the back of the office there, they'll make the phone call to the supplier to place a new order. And that was exactly the problem that this supplier wanted to have addressed here. So what was the solution? On every article that's delivered here, and that's in the showroom floor, there's a tag on there with an SAP number on it. That SAP number is what the employee just enters into their DECT telephone. That SAP number is recognized, of course, by Avaya Breeze as not being a telephone number, so it's not connecting through. The Engelbart eSuite server here recognizes that it's given that number here, has the connection to the SAP world here, and can translate that supplier ID into the phone number and makes the connection directly to the supplier. With that, we took a whole long, complicated, and time-consuming process completely out of the process here. Another example from the United States was a company that had a problem where customers would be shopping online on their web page here, but not finishing the purchasing experience here. And they wanted to be able to make sure they didn't lose that information of the person in the shopping basket moment. So the person's online in their computer here, have items in their shopping basket, for some reason don't complete the purchase here. At that point, Avaya Breeze is given the information of who the person is, what they had in their shopping basket here, and that is stored in our context store in Avaya Breeze. Later on, that customer might pick up the phone and call the same company here. The employee is able to retrieve automatically the items of that shopping basket here, and then with a clever sales conversation can find out, is that what they were calling about, and would they like to continue that shopping experience here? If yes, that employee can trigger that a message, a SMS or email, is sent into the customer with a link in it. The customer clicks that link, and then they can be in a co-browsing session here together where they can complete the shopping experience here. Third example, this time from Switzerland, a company we've started working with only just 1 year ago today, called Novalink. Novalink has been a specialist in alarming and evacuation systems here for companies, for campuses, even for airports. They monitor systems here, particularly sometimes in emergency solutions here, listening for fire alarms, systems here, or telephone numbers that might be triggering fire information here. And their NovaLert application today can send information via SMS or email, or even to their NovaLert app to certain users that might have that on their smart devices here. Or of course, they have a desktop client that would be used for monitoring all of this here. We met in spring of 2016 and had a conversation. What might Avaya Breeze bring to NovaLert here if we put that in next to one another here? You see here, by the number of items, we were able to expand tremendously the number of potential inputs and processes and information that might be able to come into the flow here through Avaya Breeze, as well as the number of outputs and where we might be able to take that information, that alerting information here. Alerting doesn't only mean just because the fire alarm goes off here that that's all the information I need to have. There might be other internal information that needs to be enriched into the conversation before we send off the alarm out here. Or even get it into the contact centers. That was something not that easy for Nova Alert here to do. We have the contact center integration. It's already out of the Avaya Breeze natively here. And instead of just sending it to an app or to a desktop client or an SMS, perhaps there is a contact center this can go to. We could have command centers set up here with dynamic team formation and all being brought into audio or video calls here together, and so on and so forth here. So we've been able to expand together with NovaLink here what their application Nova Alert can do here, both on inputs, monitoring, and data enrichment here, as well as the outputs. Another example is the story around chatbots. Chatbots are getting a lot of attention nowadays. Chatbots, whether they're in the social monitoring networks here out there, whether it's a mobile web type application or a web chat application on a web page, or even basic SMS here, how do we take advantage of artificial intelligence and making smart conversations here and making this a good decision for your business here? Avaya has a message automation application here, which is AI driven. It learns from previous conversations. It learns how to react to your customers and respond and direct them to the information they're looking for. It supports 31 languages, so most of the languages we're working in. It works with social applications and the messaging channels, all which that give us applications and APIs that we can connect to. It supports natural language conversation, just free conversation. Or it could be dialogue driven or menu driven here, depending on what your requirements might be. It absolutely gives you the seamless live agent integration. So when that smart AI-driven bot doesn't quite know what the next step of the process is, it will get the entire conversation down to an agent so that that person can directly take over the conversation. And everything is recorded and secured by your contact center platform. And this is all powered by Avaya Breeze. Another example from Engelbart, they just happen to have a Tesla to play with this and try this out here. Tesla offers a number of APIs, which we could then connect to Avaya Breeze. Now, the APIs are very useful for any Tesla owner. They have a mobile app where they can monitor the location of their car, certain status information over the car here. But that same API connection, we can use Avaya Breeze to monitor what's happening in the car. The case here that came up here is what happens if something changes in the car and the owner of the car is not in the same location. That was the use case they wanted to have addressed here. So here is an example of the air conditioning being turned on or the heating being turned on. The Avaya Breeze is monitoring every 10 seconds the Tesla database and asking for the status of the car. When something is triggered and it looks like it's unusual, it's sent to the Engelbart eSuite server here, which then makes a decision based on location of that customer's mobile phone, the owner's of the car's mobile phone here. Do I need to bring in a service operator, let somebody else be informed of this here, or maybe even the car owner themselves? So if the GPS coordinates of the phone are not in the same location as the car, we might need to have somebody informed about that. These are just a couple of examples, recent examples, that customers and partners are doing with Avaya Breeze. I hope some of these were of interest to you, and just hope to show that Breeze makes it easy.